Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of The Holy Post. As you can see, Deacon Joe and I just are taking some time out of working here at the cemetery. We got our work clothes on.
Get it all cleaned up.
got it all taken care of, didn't we, Deacon
We're
Joe?
taking on the mess.
Look at how
yeah,
nice
it
this
looks beautiful. It's almost like there were like 40 people here on Saturday cleaning.
and isn't that awesome? Why don't you
Yeah.
tell the good folks about what happened on Saturday, because this is really remarkable.
It's our second one, but what we did, and I sort of had the idea in the spring that we're always looking for volunteer things, and you hear about a lot of kids who need, corporal works of mercy, and we forget that that's what our cemetery is. It's a corporal work of mercy. It's where we bury and honor the dead. So I sort of opened it up and threw it out. We had a great response, and then we did it again. We'll be doing it twice a year. We did it again last Saturday, and that's to just have folks come and help us clean up the cemetery. So we try and leave things in good place, but old flowers and things that have died and different things. In the spring, we get a lot of Christmas wreaths and blankets and so forth. Then we just clean it up and get it prepared for the fall when the leaves start to fall. And the idea was to have people help us with leaves, but that didn't work out so well this year.
Yeah, the leaves were a little wet this year.
Well, they were a little on the tree.
And they were on the tree and wet, yes.
Wet on the trees, so yeah. So anyways, it was a great day. What I loved is we had Palaglaza cookies. I don't know if you've ever had those. They're phenomenal. And we had Dunkin' Donuts. We had coffee. We had a lot of community, but we also got a lot of work done, an amazing amount of work done. So it's exciting.
Well, and what I've been impressed with is the cemetery board. We have a cemetery board, and these folks are like they've caught fire and they're doing all sorts of things. I mean, think about it. Tell
it's
the
absolutely amazing. I had this nutty idea that people on boards and that should actually work. So I make it work, and it's been great. It's been absolutely phenomenal. We've had a great cemetery committee that has just loved this place, and for the most part, we had a couple people leave, but they're pretty much intact. We've added a couple new people in and sort of are seeing this as a role, a real role in the parish to be advisory to me and to the cemetery and to you, of course, but also to help keep the cemetery up. So we've done an evaluation of the monuments. We're hopefully going to get those cleaned up and taken care of. We've done an evaluation of how many tombstones are kiltered and off, and seeing what we can get straightened. We've done an evaluation of all the trees. We met with an expert on trees, and you'll see us taking down some trees and so forth. We did an evaluation, and I didn't know. I worked here for 10 years, and then I came back as in charge of the cemetery, and I had been here about 6 months, and I didn't know we had a flagpole.
Well, you couldn't see the flagpole
because the flagpole was buried in so many trees. So one of the things we did was we were thinking, do we move the flagpole? But when we evaluated, the trees were really not very healthy and so forth. So we've taken them down. We've re-exposed the flagpole. We're having the flagpole this week. In fact, somebody's going to come and get it. It's got internal workings. The guy said this is actually a really good flagpole, and they're going to get it all set up again, so we'll be able to fly the flag.
Nice. Get to fly the flag.
And in order to really celebrate that, what we're going to do is we're going to have you re-bless the flagpole, the newly commissioned flagpole, and we're going to have a little ceremony on November 11th at 11 a.m.
November 11th?
11/11, which is when the armistice was signed.
Absolutely.
So as many folks who want to come, we've done a study of veterans. If you have somebody buried in the cemetery who's a veteran and it's not marked on their tomb, or even if it is, if you could just give us a call and let us know, because we're trying to identify all the veterans. Because this year, Dennis Addis is leading the Wreaths Across America campaign, so we are going to have a wreath on every veteran's grave here. December 15th to January 13th. It's actually what they do at Arlington. That's where Arlington National Cemetery is where it started, and now it's going nationwide. I'm really excited that we're going to be part of that. So I think honoring our dead is so important, and honoring our veterans especially.
Well, and how fitting that we talk about honoring our dead, because we got All Saints and All Souls Day coming up.
That's
here.
right, yeah.
We got Halloween, All Hallows Eve. When people they used to dress like a like a saint, and now sometimes they don't. And actually I'm just as guilty of this, because wait till you see my outfit.
I almost outed the outfit, but I better.
I don't.
I do
No,
want to do the
we
big
got to have the
reveal here.
grand reveal coming up, you know. But again, we have All Saints Day on November 1st, and that's for all all the people who we know are in heaven. You know, we just know the saints are in heaven; they're interceding for us. But All Souls Day is a special day at cemeteries, and we do it a couple days earlier because we do it on the Sunday. We have our 2:00 service this Sunday to pray for all souls, for those who are faithfully departed, who are not in heaven yet, who are still in purgatory. Yeah. And it's so important that we pray for people who have died, because sometimes we just say, "Oh, they're in heaven." Well,
don't ever do that. If you preach my funeral, you tell them I need the prayers of the church.
Because we know that there is no way in God's green earth you're going right to heaven. You need to be purged of some of those sins that you've committed and ways that you've not treated your pastor well and things like that.
Oh, he is talking directly to me. I thought he was talking generally.
Oh, sorry, was that a little too direct?
Yeah. You never know really what you feel like, you know. So.
But you know, to pray for our dead, that's why we offer masses for people. Oh, that's why we come to the cemetery and make visits and put flowers on graves and have respect for our cemetery, because we want to pray for those people. And our prayers, well, it's a big word, efficacious. Our prayers are efficacious. They work. They work. And again, that allows people to get out of purgatory, to get them into heaven. And so again, my dear friends, this is one of those times where we want to pray for our beloved deceased, all of the faithfully departed, and so that they can know that glory of God in heaven.
And it's a great thing if you've lost a loved one in the last year to come out and to celebrate that we read their names and so forth. But if you've lost a loved one ever, it's great to come out. So short as it be 2 o'clock on Sunday, correct?
2 o'clock on Sunday.
October 31st.
And, you know, you think about the love that all these folks showed to so many people in our community. This is our opportunity to show our love back for them. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, we had a young man who spent a good part of the summer cutting the grass out here and so forth. And it was interesting because he said, I don't know if you were there, but he said to me, he said, you know, people, my friends and that say, well, a cemetery, how can you work in a place of death? And he said, working out there, watching people come and grieve and how they attend to the graves and that, he said, I see it as a place of mercy and love. And I think that's so true. I've really tried to sort of approach the cemetery from that perspective, that this is a place of mercy and love. It's the #1 grieving ministry you have in the parish. It's the second largest ministry we have in the parish after the school. But we've got to see it as a ministry and not just as a place. It's got to be loved, it's got to be cared for, and because what it does for so many of our people who have lost somebody, it's a place that they can come and visit them, they can be with them, they can feel their spirit, they can talk to them, they can leave letters, they can do all of these things. So it's an absolutely crucial part of what we do as a Catholic parish.
Well, again, Deacon Joe, sometimes I give you a rough time, but I do have to say that this has been really a labor of love for you and the cemetery committee, and I really appreciate that, because this is a place we absolutely need to keep up, keep looking good, and obviously honoring our deceased. So that'll be the last time I ever really compliment
that goes in the category of even a blind squirrel finds an acorn. Father complimenting something I did.
Well, you know, we try to be nice occasionally. So, well, hey, it has been wonderful to have all of you here with us, and hopefully we'll see you this Sunday at 2, and certainly we'll pray for our deceased on All Souls Day. So take care, and God bless.
Mike, how does this thing work?
We need a maintenance guy. Look at it, it's Mike Weisenberger, because it doesn't work now. Anyway, we tried. Bye.